Live streaming's going. Let me record as a backup. Okay, we're good.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. This is the Executive Board meeting on Thursday, October 19th, 2023, starting at 6:04 p.m. Want to welcome everybody here, both members and public and online. And there is a little bit of a little bit of an adjustment with the agenda. There's a little bit more that was added, so we're gonna get right to it. The first one, the information was sent out by email. Was it sent out to the public?
No, I mean it's published, but well, hold on. What are we talking about?
We're talking about this information that.
Yeah, it's hyperlinked on the agenda. So anybody who wants to access it can access it.
Okay, but there's additional
This
information
one I gotta send to the board. You want me to send that to the board, yeah?
to everybody. It's gotta anything that goes.
Okay. I'm about to go to everyone.
Yeah, so
Do that now.
okay, information will be sent out to everybody now because it was just additional things that were put on the agenda.
Is this the updated agenda?
That's today's, yep, there's additional things. Yeah, that's today. What's wrong? Is there something wrong?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just asking.
Typo?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, the first thing on the agenda, thank you, is the introductions. So, my name is Bernadette Ferrara. I am the Chair of Community Board 11.
Malcolm Gray, Sergeant of Arms.
Okay,
Veronica Castro, Treasurer.
I'm Hazel Mira, Secretary.
And Jeremy Warnicki, just your manager.
and Al D'Angelo is on his way. He's another member. He will be here in about 10 minutes. But since this only runs an hour, he'll jump right in. The first thing that is not on this agenda, that is actually going to be the third thing.
I just sent that to everyone.
Okay. What was brought to my attention about a day or 2 days, about 2 days ago, Brooklyn Community Board 11 had their zoning and their zoning meeting that was published. And that information, when you get the email, there is a link to that video. It's the Brooklyn Community Board 11. And what was the motion that was made was to send out a letter to all of the 59 community boards to ask city planning to give us a little bit more time to be able to respond. As it sits now, there is 60 days starting November 1st, which will end on December 31st, 2023, December 31st, for Community Board 11 to go over the scope of work and to be able to get specific answers to questions. So what this letter is requesting is that they give us an additional 30 days, making it 90 days, and the last day being January 31st, 2024, which with all that has to be reviewed, I would think that this is a proper request. So what was sent out to everybody just now, and also to the members, is this letter. I will briefly go through this letter. It's from Dan Garonick, it's going to Dan Garonick, Chair of City Planning Commission, 120 Broadway, 31st floor, New York, 10271. With regards, with City of Yes Economic Opportunity Text Amendment, New York City Community Board's request for additional review prior to certification. Dear Chair Garonick, We are writing today to request that you provide New York City community boards additional time to review the sweeping changes in the City of Yes Economic Opportunities Zoning Text Amendment. Why are we making this request? The information presented to community boards thus far has lacked specificity, delivered limited anecdotal data supporting justification for the need to recategorize user groups, and staff were unable to answer many questions posed by board members. Additionally, some community boards have been unable to schedule preliminary briefings with your team until well after the planned certification goal of late October, early November. It is important to get this right. While we support economic opportunity in our great city and agree that some change is needed to update terminology as well as remove outdated terms and add new industries that were not in existence in 1961, the lack of detail provided specifically with modifications to use groups and expanded as of right designations has raised many unanswered questions. The recently shared annotated text is well over 600 pages and requires a detailed review. The three major articles of the zoning resolution distinguish residential, commercial, and manufacturing uses, and by and large have served our neighborhoods well in the context of providing oversight and enforcement over the last 60 years. The impact to residential communities resulting from this proposal appeared to be significant. During the online presentation, those in attendance made it clear that the voices of residents are not being heard. Further, many businesses may not fully understand impacts they may face with changes to the zoning text. The new proposals include removal of residential space to add commercial uses, expand definitions to home occupation businesses, within residential businesses, change use groups in the commercial overlays within residential districts, and expand as of right designations that will permanently remove tools for community review, as well as agency oversight and enforcement. The bottom line is we want to do our due diligence and ask that you provide community boards with 90 days upon certification so that we can work together to closely review the changes to the text and their impacts to our respective community districts. In your own words from the public info session, City of Yes for Housing Opportunity on September 27th, these are important issues. They are complicated, and we want to take our time. Thank you in advance for your consideration, and we look forward to your reply. Sincerely. So, Chair of Community Board of Brooklyn Community Board 11 is asking that all 59 community boards sign on to this. So this is presented to our executive board today. And we will make motions after we hear from the gallery. So I'd like to open it up if there's any questions.
Today, make a motion today,
What?
make a motion today, to support it?
I think we have to wait until after,
No, I mean, like, are you making, are we, motion supposed to be made today to support it?
oh, beforehand?
Yeah,
Oh,
no, that's not what I'm asking.
He's asking, yeah.
Are we making the motion to support the letter today? And vote it?
I would like to make the motion to support signing on to this letter and also to bring it to the borough president's office.
I have a few issues in regards to that personally. This letter coming in, I didn't receive this letter till I left my office at 5:20 today. I just received a copy of this letter at 6:06 p.m. today.
What?
Open meetings law says that for things to be decided upon, it needs to have been published and sent to us for review 24 hours beforehand.
I sent it last night.
I
I forwarded it to all the
I didn't receive any information about this, and I just got it 6:06 p.m. I was aware that we were discussing the city's proposals, which was right here, because that was
Right.
attached to the agenda and to our emails, but I did not receive a copy of this letter. And also, what also worries me too, is that this isn't the first time that City of Yes has been mentioned in our meetings. I've mentioned it multiple times last session. I mentioned it in July when we had that executive meeting. I mentioned it last meeting. I asked for us to strategize and figure out how can we educate ourselves and get us one step closer to figuring this stuff out. I reached out to the borough's president's office last week, actually, asking them about it and so how we move forward. I don't see how we can sign on to the letter, one, and not be in violations of open meetings law. And I don't see how we can, authentically sign this, knowing that we didn't do our own due diligence to figure out, how does this proposal affect us? Right? To me, it just seems disingenuous because we put no real effort towards this.
Well, I will say that I know I did send it out. I organized everything yesterday. I did send it out.
You say what time you sent it out?
I did send it out yesterday. Probably before 5 o'clock.
Well, I mean, before we get into the details and the weeds of that, we do have that. You want,
Yes.
you want to go to?
Well, this is something, well, we could table this, but by tabling it, we're doing another 30 days into our 60 days that we have to work with.
So
When we add it
My-
to
my-
the full board meeting,
Yeah.
agenda, since now it's, all the board has it now.
Yeah.
It'll be time, just a few days for to be able to read it,
Sure.
and we can vote on it.
Great.
I just want us to be aware that this is something that is time sensitive.
Right. In my conversation with U10 in the BP's office, he did tell me that, yeah, like there are deadlines in which we should vote on these things. But they're not necessarily hard deadlines. We can still review it and give our opinions, recommendations after that.
I realize that.
And I know that the VP did send us, she sent everyone an email, I think earlier this month, or it was like around last month, asking us to please review the City of Yes. It was last month, actually. Jack to please review it, and we did nothing. So I want to bring it up again, that maybe we should strategize how we want to tackle the City of Yes and make sure that we are educating ourselves in the community in a very efficient manner, an effective manner. But I do agree with Veronica, maybe we should send this, in essence, to the full board and vote on it.
It's
I
time.
think Jeremy just,
I just sent it.
yeah, I think that's the 606 thing.
I would have sent it
Right.
before. but-
I did see Bernadette's email last night though, so maybe you just didn't get it.
I
but
have
did
two
see-
emails on the board. I have my CB11 email and I have my personal email, and I received none of them.
Well, I got some around 11 o'clock last night. I don't know if
11
you.
o'clock.
Yeah, because I know, because a lot of, there was time to redact, it's like doing the PDFs, redacting stuff. I did all that. So by the time it was done, I just got it sent out as quickly as possible because this is dated October 17th.
Agendas, I printed 10.
You can have mine as well.
Here, you can have.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah,
He's
so
good.
I think at this point, so that the rest of the board has a chance to read it, I think we should leave it and just put it on the full board agenda so we can
Sure.
discuss it then further.
But that's fine with me. I just really wanted that to be number one.
Thank you.
Also, this information should also go out to the whole board. This is the information that was sent with regards to the Metro North train stations, Morris Park and Parkchester Van Ness. There's a timeline of the Euler process,
Second one.
which is very important.
This one.
So this is another piece of information that really is for our review and also to be checking out the link to the study website and additional information.
Which one
Because
is that? I don't think I have that one.
I think there's an extra one over here if you don't have it there.
Yeah, I don't have one. But yeah.
this basically will work after this, which is the reason for having this be 90 days is because of how the ULURP process does work. And it was basically sent, I had requested sending it from city planning. And I really didn't get that until recently also. So this is just really information that we all need to be very aware of, because we're on a ticking clock. And I'm hoping that city planning, the other community boards do sign on to this, so that we do have until January 31st, 2024 to review and be able to get answers, specific answers to our questions. Okay, which is very important. How do we make a judgment call? How do we even know what to ask if we don't get specific details with regards to the scope of work? So, okay, I'd like to go on to what, and just for everybody's information, a lot of this information of what we're dealing with right now is going to be for the next executive board meeting, because this next proposal, which was diligently done by Edward Perez, raise your hand. And I actually have read through 3/4 of it. It's a 22-page document, but the first page is an overview. Okay. And it's something that should be a guidance for our plan of action for Community Board 11. And what Edward diligently did is he actually, after the first page, which is an overview, it goes into detail for each one of the committees. So again, this is not something that we can go through in a very short amount of time. But I am requesting for everybody to read this. Okay.
This is just a summary that just provided us of everything that's in this.
So a condensed version, maybe?
Thank you.
I think that's,
Love the study notes.
I actually, I thought I had made, okay. This was the 3-page. This was the 3-pager. This is for the, like I said, there's a lot to this, and this is for expenses and budgets. I thought I had done this, but no.
No, that one wasn't part of the printout.
Got it.
Just a minute.
So as you can see, this is a 22-page document that has a lot of details to it. And this is an this is a 3-page document that deals with budget priorities and expenses. I'm introducing it here to make us aware of what our feedback is on this. And there's no way that we can give feedback within an hour meeting.
Well, again, as you just said earlier, City of Yes needs our attention, right? We're time sensitive, partly. I don't think we can wait another 30 minutes, right? I think
This is different. This is actually
this,
for the carbon neutrality.
that's part of City of Yes.
Yeah,
City of
right,
Yes,
but
right.
this doesn't have a,
City of Yes has 3 principles. It has the carbon neutrality,
right,
it has the education and not education, sorry, economic development
opportunity.
and the housing. So we already missed the carbon neutrality, and we're currently supposed to be in the process of considering the
Economic.
economic development.
That summary that I passed around
Mhm.
is specifically for economic development. We missed the boat on carbon neutrality.
Right,
That's-
so, yeah, so we can't wait another 30 days. We need to develop a plan, I think, today. I reached out to the chairs of land use, Oral and Ken, and they thought it was a good idea for them to have a workshop
Or is it?
in some type of way. I have spoken to
Housing.
I've spoken to both House, to Veronica and Hazel in their respective committees, and they both agreed to do city of planning workshops also. I think as a board, we do have to prioritize this as a top priority, because come March, this is going to be an issue, right? Our business owners don't know what's happening. Our residents don't know what's happening, and we need to be able to become at least conversational, right? To discuss to them what this stuff is. So maybe we have to create a committee that focuses solely on the city of Yes. Maybe we have to bring in our leadership committee to sit down and then say that, look, maybe you all need to have workshops in a public hearing regarding these issues. But we already missed the boat. We're already in the process of missing another boat. So missing another 30 days is going to put us in backlog.
Well, this is something that back in February, March, or whatever, which when I was just talking about us being watchdogs, because this was coming.
Right, but Bernadette, I've mentioned this multiple times last session.
Okay,
I've been mentioning this since March. I've emailed this multiple times.
okay,
I've gotten
good.
no response about it. I mentioned it last month. I mentioned it in July, and we had that executive board meeting, and I said we need to strategize. Right, we missed 2 months that we could have planned this out. So now to say that we're going to have to wait 30 more days, that's an issue,
Mhm.
right? And I don't care where we sit politically. I do want to ensure that that our community know what's happening. I'm curious to hear
I wanna know.
how everyone views how we can improve this or what we can't do here. So I do think we need to figure out today, how can we educate ourselves faster and effectively to be able to have this conversation next month. But maybe we need a committee. Maybe you got to bring it to full board and create
Why
a
not
committee.
have a housing and land use, have a
Well,
joint committee?
we've agreed to that already. So housing nice has agreed to that. We actually decided on that in September, right?
Okay.
Economic development decided.
We invite the city of Yes, a
We definitely can.
representative to maybe have a public hearing so people can hear from
We
them and
definitely can.
understand.
Well, I spoke to Michael Catamore on October
Housing and land
3rd.
use.
Yeah.
And it basically said that, but we do need to do that, but the one thing that I even spoke to Jeremy about too is this needs to be bigger than committee. We're not gonna reach the masses, so, if we're going to just do it with it, I think it's a place to start, I always do.
Was this sent to the entire board, the full board?
Yes. Yeah,
It's sent to the full board. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think an email should go out asking the full board to please review this guideline.
mhm,
Right? And I think we should go into the full board ready to create a committee that is tailored focused on getting this done and then coming back to us, right? I think Ed created,
obviously, and
he created the blueprint of how this could work, right?
he's
go
the
back,
one who
Right.
did this.
get information for us, decide and give it to us so we can decipher it, right? But we have to make the votes. We have to get on pace here because it looks like we're not prioritizing the important stuff. And we can do better than this.
Well, having it come to committee, okay? And having, if we could get, Toon has been, I don't know about Michael Cavallaro, but I know Toon has been the person that has been, making us aware since the beginning of September,
Correct.
okay?
I reached out to Ju10 in the Bronx Borough President's office, and he said if we need additional resources and tools to
Okay.
get us ready for this, he will give it to us.
Oh,
So
cool.
I have no issue reaching out to him tomorrow morning and asking,
Okay.
please, give you a call or give the board a call so we can get this done. But we can't wait on 30 days.
Okay, so when is our housing, when are we gonna be having our housing, our
Housing meeting as well.
housing ready, so land use? So I don't know,
Land use. I don't want to. They don't have meeting discussions.
Nope.
They didn't have speech. They didn't have meeting discussion
No,
last month.
Ken said that he's willing to
Yeah,
have a
and I know.
joint meeting.
Yeah.
Do we actually want to have a committee meeting or do we just want to go and have a public hearing?
I think we should have a committee meeting first, right? Get the information that we need, then go for a public hearing.
Okay, can we do that in a month?
I think it's possible.
What,
I think it's possible.
Both meetings?
Well, the land use and housing should have a joint meeting at the beginning of November. And then we could schedule the public hearing the
middle?
following week or something.
Right.
yeah, it's
So that
gotta
way
be
we
right
get it
after
done
it.
in the beginning of November instead of
You
waiting
need
for
a
the very
committee
end.
meeting just to, put on your exit on.
Cause this is a lot.
Right. And I think that
Just
the
have
City
the
of Yes
public hearing.
committee can also work on getting a workshop done for us on the side too, while those committees are doing business to get us, quickly acclimated to this.
Okay,
Ma-
okay.
Malcolm, quick
Yes,
question.
Alden.
When you say, I like it. I like what you're saying. Everything you're saying is really on point. I really do. I like everything that you're mentioning. When you say committee for City of Yes, it'll just be like how many people you're thinking about on that committee, because it's just getting the information, and I have the information. You do too, Malcolm. I know you did a lot of research on it too. We spoke about it too. We spoke about City of Yes prior, and
Right.
so the committee would just be a few of us talking about what we should present and who we should get in contact to present this information to the board.
Yeah, well, I think part of the issue is that our committees, as they're designed now, have business they gotta take care of, right? So we never know if land use may have a land use, something.
Yeah, I think something's coming up too. I heard about something. I saw something
Right.
go by my email about
Exactly.
building being built.
And we know economic development usually has business that we have to take care of, like the cannabis licenses, housing also. So I think a
Right.
city committee spearheading getting the workshops to educate us in the community
Right.
eases up that workload for us. And then and allowing it to, and then after the vote for saying yes, it disbands. But I think that it can really be tailored to just
So a non-standing committee just
Yeah.
for,
So
just for this particular,
right,
yeah. I
exactly.
mean, it's
Right.
not a bad idea because if
No,
they could,
no,
if they could run ahead on getting the workshops done so that the committees can focus on what they need to
Right.
focus on,
Right.
also,
Yeah,
that could be a good.
no, that's good. That's good. So,
So I mean, who do you? Because I know you're trying to get this done quickly, which I agree. I don't have a problem with that. So you want to do it now, like have people to, like, I don't know if it takes a lot of people, but who would be the person to contact City of Yes group or whoever it is involved
Two.
with it?
Who's one of them?
two, right?
Who's one of them?
Michael Cavalar and Toon Dooling. And that's information I think, Oral, you have on some of the emails or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, and also Michael Cavalar, the Toon is our liaison, but Michael Cavalar, they work together.
Okay.
I think the two of them would be perfect.
Okay, so can we do it now? Like have someone call them tomorrow, and say, listen, we're interested in the City of Yes. We're interested in having someone
It's like,
come on board by either on virtual and give a talk about about City of Yes, all of the different three aspects of it, and what day would be good for you, give me a few days that would be good for you to come on board to give a presentation on the City of Yes.
yeah, I had already asked with Michael and, when I saw him at the workshop on October 3rd.
Right.
So that it's something that either we're gonna come to a committee first, or it has to be bigger. So committee first is fine.
Right.
So why don't, I mean, do you want to get the people that are
Yeah, I think it's
interested?
get people.
Okay,
I think
I'd
that
like,
has to be a part of it, because this.
yes, so, I would like to be a part of that also.
Can we iron it out right now? Like who's gonna do it right now? Since it can be done very quickly, no?
Yeah, you have no choice, Ed.
Well, everybody always has a choice. But yes, I am interested and I'm
But we
interested in.
would love your
spearheading.
choice to be part of our,
Oh, no, I don't think that was a negotiating point. I would definitely love to be a part of this and spearhead it and make sure that, we can get this initiative off to a great start, because sadly, it's taken a year, for this to even come over.
Okay, Ed, we could just move on from there and just see what we can do right now. I know it's been a year, but sometimes going back and forth with that is
So
not.
Oral, are you a mind reader? Because you just like kind of shut me up right there and interrupted me in the way. And let me tell you something, it's a little bit of like stifling energy from that right there. And I had that experience with Bernadette, and now I'm seeing a pattern of stifling new voices on this board.
Oh, no.
And I'm really not liking it, but continue, sir. I will not interrupt you, and I will not interrupt this meeting again.
I'm gonna say something with that.
I don't
We
know how to
haven't
respond to that.
You know, Ed, we're just trying to organize. We're just trying to organize and move forward. Nobody is stifling anybody. It's just that we gotta end at 7 o'clock. So, and if we could talk about days and get a date, if there's, et cetera. I'd like to, for us to not, nobody is stifling anybody. And there was a misinterpretation that you and I have to talk about, but because I was sick, I couldn't come in. So you have to give me a little grace period that I couldn't get myself in here to discuss things. But we printed this out and we're very, very happy about it because it's something that we have to move forward on. So
All right, so
if I could just,
yeah, so again, let's full board, right?
Mhm.
At the full board, we could gather, I think we could gather the names for this committee by full board.
See who wants to, who's interested.
Exactly.
I want to be on that committee.
Yeah, there might be people who aren't here tonight that might also want to be on the committee. So I think at the full board would be a better place to at least solidify who's going to be part of that committee. So we could take anybody who wants to.
I already wrote my
Volunteer.
name down.
I won't be part of the committee because I have too much to do, but
Okay.
I'm glad to see that we're finally, making some progress here on this one.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Everything looks good, you guys. I really appreciate it. I mean, you're right. It's very important, and it's very important that we address it and get everyone involved and get the word out to people, to folks.
Yes, yes. I will call up Michael. I'll just send the email that I already sent out after whatever, and I'll just say, what are your days? Is anybody opposed? Is there, if we could do something on Fridays? Or is that, I know that we don't do a lot of stuff on Fridays.
I think it might be an issue on Fridays because I know Ken is possibly that he will.
All
be-
right, right, okay, so, got it, okay. So we have to look at our calendars, so, all right. But, we'll bring it up to leadership, we'll bring it up at the full board. This needs to spread like wildfire.
Indeed.
It does. So I'm just looking at the time.
Yeah.
That's my address.
Mhm.
Okay, so, I have a question, Ed. Did you submit these to, for the, budget priorities to,
So because we were short on time with the carbon neutrality aspect of it, what I did with the budget requests that I had submitted, they were all tailored around the carbon neutrality part of it in order to have budget requests that would advance the carbon neutrality portion of the initiative.
okay,
But these that are for the economic development portion of it, I have not discussed anything of that with anybody yet. You guys are seeing it for the first time.
but you didn't submit them.
Not these
So-
particular ones.
No.
All right,
There were some that were for the carbon,
for
one that he did.
the
That's
economic
the,
development.
those are the ones that you sent to Serena and copied
Right.
everyone on,
Right.
right? Yeah, I even, and I'm sure others did too, asked Serena to put in the part for the economic development that he had put in there as part of our suggestions.
Okay,
I think he did an amazing job on it, absolutely amazing. And I was very grateful for him for putting everything together.
okay, all right. So that's why,
See, it's true.
and by the way, I just had a lot of questions, because I did, like I said, I went through 3/4 of this, et cetera, but, we will save it I will write my questions down as I'm going through, which I didn't have time to do that. Okay, but thank you for this. I feel like this is a, how shall we say, a program that we need to complete for school, like a college thing. This is, I thank you for it because it's it goes into detail. And I was like, you must have done like 3 or 4 days, 24 hours just to get this whole, to keep a stream of thought going. You know, because I've done presentations like this. So I just want to thank you for it because it's, we're gonna be able to have a good foundation.
Thank you for that. I just, again, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers, all right? I'm just very passionate about this community and helping the community and giving.
And you live in Van Ness.
And the City of Yes program, I think it's probably one of the first time that any administration has A, done something like this, and B, actually done something that could benefit the Bronx, because the Bronx is always left for last.
We're always a stepchild.
Yeah, so we have to take advantage of it.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, it's gonna be interesting how everything plays out, how things get started. And it's almost like, where do we start? That's the way I look at it. So, this is all, everybody who gets this, please try to print it out and please read it. Don't get overwhelmed by it, but just read it.
Can we resend it in the email to the full board, asking them to make this priority to be read for the full board next week?
Did you send it out to the full board?
I sent it out. I
Like,
can.
we'll resend it because people,
You
gotta meet everybody where they're at.
Jeremy, before you send that out to the full.
Yes. Okay, so,
Yeah. I mean, he contingent upon, whatever Ed wants.
okay. So, just to go on, just to, the next thing that is, I'm sorry, that is not on the agenda, but it's, something that needs to come to leadership. It needs to come to, first, the, executive board, are cases, 2 cases from the ethnic committee, case number 70,
107 and 108.
yeah, 107 and 108. Okay, and this was discussed back in, I think, in February, March, that this would come to leadership, etc. So, I don't think everybody has had a chance to look at it. We could put this on for old business. Okay.
I think but just speaking as part of the ethics committee, I think people need time to read and digest this before they actually
Yeah. And
do any kind of voting on it. And it's just,
agree.
I
no
agree.
one's been aware of it, until, well, not no one, I'm on the ethics committee, so I am aware of them, but
Right,
this wasn't brought up that it was gonna be on the agenda, so no one's had a time to read them, so maybe we leave this for the full board again.
that's why I was
Because-
just saying, because,
What is the goal?
So these were reviewed and voted on
Mhm.
in March or April, I think it was.
Right.
It was supposed to be reviewed and voted on by the leadership or the full board, and it hasn't been.
But what are we asking the leadership to do?
I have to look back and find out because we've reviewed other ones too, so I'm
It
not
was
sure.
picks from ethics to the executive board.
yes,
Oh,
yes, it
okay.
was. That was decided because it had to be staff.
Okay, it was sent to leadership. We didn't actually vote on it. Okay.
So this we have a table for next month, basically.
What?
So this we have a table for next month.
Yeah, we do. It'll
Yeah.
be, like I said, most of what we have here today is going to be, of course, not the city of Yes, that's a priority, but, those two, because I told Naomi and Veronica that we would bring it up. Everybody has a copy of it.
Mhm.
And the
So-
email, there's only one thing that I do want to say with regards to, and I think I said it in the email, and I think it's with 708.
108.
I'm sorry, thank you. I wrote down here 708.
This is one of them.
Thank you. Way ahead of myself.
Mhm.
No,
With regards to, I think this is 708. With regards to the district service cabinet meeting, but it was actually, it was put in by Mr. Press
Mhm.
on December 1st, 2020,
Right.
2022. And my only thing that I'm going to verbally say, but I put it in the email, is that one of the things that was on my list, as I was elected chair, was to bring back the district cabinet meetings. And we did in June. We did bring it in June, and it needs to also be more of either every month or every 2 months. So that was brought back in June, and there was one question I needed to know, is that video, was that streamlined?
No, you can't, no, those meetings are not open to the public.
Right, that's what I thought.
We can
But-
talk about it next month, too, but I have questions.
Okay, but because then we need, yeah,
Okay.
so we can
And
discuss this. So this is something that there has been forward movement on this. And it was something that I made, it was just something that I already had.
Since my name was mentioned, can I say something? Basically, all communities are supposed to publish their district service capital needs.
Are you talking about the minutes?
Yep,
Okay,
minutes.
that's something that we could do.
Okay, thank you.
all right, and as you're there, I would like to know. I know I saw the Bronx Borough Board meetings. Do we have any motion, like what's happening with those? 'Cause I haven't seen any minutes in those or anything like that.
Any minutes? No, there aren't, you're talking about the minutes of it,
The Bronx Borough Board.
the Bronx Borough?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
With the VP.
Yeah, as far as I know, they don't do minutes. So it's like, but I mean, those are going to be my questions. I mean, again, we can talk about next month, but
Have you
like,
attended?
what's that?
Have you attended?
No, I have not been.
I used to attend, I don't attend them anymore. And I have reasons for it, I can state here or elsewhere. But I don't, like, again, we can talk about it next month, but like if, I think you guys brought up land use, if land use doesn't have a meeting every month, why do I have to have district service cabinet meetings every month? Like, I don't like to have meetings, just to have meetings, or attend meetings, just to attend meetings. But yeah, it would be nice if they had minutes for, we let her in.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they had meetings for those minutes. As far as I know, I've asked and they don't have meetings for those minutes. The borough president's office is responsible for minutes for those minutes.
Oh, are they responsible?
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is like, yeah, we have our obligations to go, but
Okay.
if other people are not doing it, like, what? Basically, why?
First button now, the first one.
Left. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I take that back. There was, I did attend before things, it was before June, but I did attend one of the borough president meetings.
Okay.
I just can't remember with all the meetings, I can't remember exactly which meetings. Okay, so the other thing that is part of old business that is not on here, that I also had said in the email, was the questionnaire that was tabled for proposal for changing election requirements. There was a questionnaire, and it was something that had been printed out for everybody to go over. But it was something that needs to be part of old business. I'm just asking everybody to please read over it and see if there's anything with the questions that, I did, there were a couple of questions that everybody was saying, these are good questions. I don't think the whole thing, I think there were some questions that were good. So I'm just asking to review that and come back with feedback for our next executive board. That is not as urgent as the City of Yes. So we really need to prioritize. So with that, if there's anybody else, I'd like to open it up to the gallery session unless there's anything, any other questions from our committee members. Okay, all right, I'd like to open it up to the gallery session.
We had nobody registered online.
We have nobody registered. Okay, I will start with who would like to speak here in person.
I just want to say one thing to you. The City of Yes was sent out by the Mayor's Office or Department of City Planning on August 17th to the media and the public, just so you know. That's it,
It's not entirely true.
is the email that I received.
Brooklyn Community Boards were meeting with City of Yes back in February,
Mhm.
and it's recorded.
Okay. Okay. Is there anybody else here that would like to?
Cynthia, behind you.
Cynthia?
I wanted to make a suggestion as far as the City of Yes Committee. I don't know if it would be, I think it might work if we send out an email to like a Google sheet or whatever, resending Ed's proposal with a little link to say, okay, if, you know, we're creating this committee or we're thinking about creating this committee, if you're interested in being part of it, sign up. And I think it kind of cuts down the amount of time, because then by the time we get to the vote, to the full board, we'll kind of have people in place and they're ready to kind of just get moving. That was one thing. The other thing is with regards to what Jeremy just said, as far as like monthly meetings, I was a little perturbed at the fact that we did not have a land use meeting this month. I've kind of asked about it informally. I did not send an email, but land use is something, there are, 130,000 people in this district? There's no way that somebody can tell me that we have nothing on land use to discuss on a monthly basis. We should have had a meeting, even if it was something brief to touch base, updates, whatever. That's it. Thank you.
Remember, I only brought that up because somebody else brought that up earlier, and that was just, again, I don't know why I'm held to a different standard
Mhm.
than.
I'm not disagreeing with you on what you said.
Okay.
Can I just run down, I have a like a one pager on the various committees. I titled it various committees, one community.
An overview?
The overview of how each committee can relate to the City of Yes for Economic Opportunity Initiative.
Yeah, that's on the first page. That's the overview. You sent it out by email, but then you put it in
Yeah.
here.
So may I read that? May I take some time to read that?
As quickly as you can.
Okay. Leadership. The leadership committee can play a vital role in promoting and supporting the City of Yes initiative within the community. They can provide guidance and mobilize community members to engage with proposed zoning changes and economic opportunity measures. Community development and budget priorities. This committee can examine how the City of Yes initiative aligns with community's development goals and budget priorities. They can assess the potential economic benefits and impacts on the community's budget. Economic development. The Economic Development Committee is directly related to the City of Yes initiative. They can review and analyze the proposed zoning changes and aim to support small businesses and create economic opportunities in the community. Education, culture, and youth services. While not directly tied to zoning regulations, this committee can explore how economic opportunities created by the City of Yes initiative can benefit youth services, cultural programs, and education in the community. Ethics and disciplinary. This committee may not have a direct connection to the initiative, but they can ensure that the proposed changes maintain ethical standards and comply with regulations. Health and social services. The Health and Social Services Committee can assess how economic opportunities impact public health and social services in the community. They can look at the potential for job creation and improved access to services. Housing. The housing community can explore how the initiative affects housing options in the community. Zoning changes may impact housing affordability and availability. Land use. The Land Use Committee is directly related to the City of Yes initiative as it deals with zoning changes. They will play a crucial role in reviewing and making recommendations regarding these changes. Parks and Recreation. While not directly related, this committee can assess how economic opportunities benefit parks and recreational facilities in the community. Public Safety. The Public Safety Committee can examine the impact of economic development on public safety concerns. They can also assess how the initiative addresses safety issues. Sanitation and environmental protection. This committee can evaluate the environmental implications of the City of Yes initiative, especially with regard to clean production and sustainability. Transportation. The Transportation Committee can assess how economic opportunities affect transportation needs and infrastructure in the community. They can also consider how zoning changes impact traffic and transit. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. This committee can ensure that the City of Yes initiatives promotes diversity, equity, and inclusion in economic development efforts. Social media, got them too. The social media committee can play a crucial role in disseminating information about the City of Yes initiative, gathering community input, and keeping residents informed about development. Each committee can provide valuable insights, conduct relevant research, and engage with community members to ensure that the City of Yes for Economic Opportunity Initiative aligns with the community's needs and priorities. They can also offer recommendations and feedback to improve the initiative's effectiveness. Thank you.
You have an updated version.
Yes,
Can you send that so we can send it out to everybody?
that's why I told Jeremy I wanted to make sure that.
Yeah, cool. Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Okay,
It's very that you'll make sure we all get copies of it.
that's an updated version. That's, yeah, so that overview is an updated, because it's got, yeah,
They'll
that'll
send
get
it out
sent
to
out
the
to
board.
everybody. That's not on here. So, okay, great. Thank you. As I'm reading, I'm going, wait a minute.
Thank you for the time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so going to our agenda, is there anybody online? And please raise your hand if you want to speak. Okay, Roxanne?
Yes, thank you. I'll make this short because I know you have your next meeting. You know,
We
I
got
sent an
5
email
minutes.
regarding the lack of monthly meetings. There was none done this month, in violation of the open charter. Sorry, violation of the state charter. Sorry, I just got home. And also the fact is that I'm not going to go back and forth on the agenda being published on time, because I will say that in the city charter, I sent you the email, the board does have a obligation to do outreach, which includes emails, which included publishing in local papers. So that was not done for the Pelham Parkway, White Plains Road dispensary, cannabis dispensary. So I was hoping we could have that public hearing. So I guess I'll bring that up by leadership. But my second concern is because I spoke to your staff and they're saying that in order for me to have things added to the agenda, to have emails forwarded to the members of the board, which they requested me to send that information, I have to go through the chair of each committee. So I spoke to someone about it. I won't say who. They said that that's ridiculous because the board members and the chair are unpaid and the staff are paid and they should be doing these administrative duties. So it's up to you, but I think it's causing a lot of confusion when I have to reach out now to each chair to send in the information they requested me to send them at the board meetings or committee meetings, as well as ask them to forward emails to specific board members. I think that's something, I would like this policy to be in writing so I can understand what is the right way of sending information to the board, because initially it was to send to the staff, but now they're saying I have to send it to the committee chairs. So can you explain in writing next time what is the procedure for board for public members to send information to the CB11? Thank you so much.
I actually, today, I had some time. I actually read the audit that's done by the comptroller in regards to how boards operate. And I read some recommendations. And the first recommendation that was on there is that we provide a section of community input in every single meeting, which we do, actually. We actually go above and beyond, because open meetings law does not necessarily say that we need to have gallery sessions at committees, but yet we do. And before every motion that we make, we have a gallery session before we vote anything like that. So we are technically we are
In compliance.
in compliance.
Thank you.
Right.
That was the word I was looking for.
I'm sorry. And I think it's.
No, but I'm sorry. That was after I sent you the email. That's only
Let
after
him
I sent you
finish,
an
let him
email.
finish, let
And
him
after I
finish.
complained about it, changed the procedure.
Hello, someone's speaking.
Right.
Hello.
Now, I just want to say, right, our staff does have a lot of work to do, right? They do a lot, right? They're not only filling the complaints, but they're also doing the action items that our committees are doing, right? I do not think that is necessarily fair for Jeremy, Harry, and Chris to have to add motions from people not on the board to be on our agendas. That's not right. Right? If there is an issue that a community member has, they should reach out to the chair for that committee, and they should bring it to their attention where we would discuss
Then
it
it's up
at
to
committee.
It's really up to the chair of
Right.
that
And
committee.
And then
to
decide if that's
basically-
gonna be put on the agenda or not.
Exactly. You can't circumvent the committee and go to the staff to get it done,
Right.
because that doesn't set a great precedent. right? It's
Well, that's the procedure.
right.
That's a,
And one of the things
structure.
we've been doing is we've been
So-
making motions at the general meeting.
Mhm.
I think we should be doing that at leadership first.
Mhm.
First it goes to committee,
Right.
then it's the motion made in committee and then brought to leadership, and then from leadership, then it goes to the, to the full board. This way it just alleviates time because the chat is there.
right.
No, we have people sitting here till 10 o'clock.
I think so.
You know, there's something to lose.
Yeah.
Just want to clarify some misinformation, but I was the one that sent the committee board that audit that Mr. Gray said he read. Second, initially the committee board used to do motions before public input, and due to my complaints, that was reversed. Just for you to know how much I did try to make this committee board more community minded and more community receptive community input. And that includes the minutes. I used to send that minutes were not provided on the website, and because of me and because of change in law, that was amended. So I know some people don't like me, but nonetheless, you should at least acknowledge all the positive things I did to make this community board more community-minded and more in reflection with the controller's report. So I just wanted to know the procedure because I'm not trying to go circumvent committees. It's just that I thought before that we would send directly to the staff, not to circumvent the committees, to let the committee's chair know that someone from the public wants this added to the agenda or send information. Now that's been reversed where you have to send it directly to the chair. So all I ask is what is the procedure that can be done in sent in writing? That's all. I'm not trying to circumvent anybody. I just try to understand what is the process now because it has changed recently with no verbal or written notice to the public. That's all.
So, I mean, I don't know if you want to ask this question. My question is, who told her she needs to email the chair of the committees? I know I didn't.
No, no, not the, no,
She
that,
didn't have access to the emails.
yeah.
Yeah. Or he should have
Well-
access to our emails.
I mean, outside of, having what Sherry has.
Well-
I called the
All right, so
staff and they
all
told
right,
me
we got-
to email directly to the chair. I'm not making this up. They said the
So who told you that? Then? Who told you that?
And you and Mr. Kirka, just recently when I asked you to send the email to the Hazel Muir regarding the housing committee letter and to send the parks petition to the parks committee, and both of you said to send it directly to the chair that,
I
I'm not
told you to send it directly to the chair. I really doubt that.
yes, you can ask Kirk, I can ask Chris Kirka. We had a discussion again today.
I can ask Chris, but I think I'd remember if I told you that.
You did, but that's okay. But can we say what's the
So-
policy
Is
then?
it okay? It doesn't sound like it's okay.
There's 701.
Okay. It's
No,
some,
what is the policy? I'm
things
trying to
that-
clarify.
the chair, the chair should get copied because ultimately there's stuff that comes back. So.
Yeah.
being
No, but should I
copied
send it
is
to your staff or should I send it to the committee? It's my only question. What is the procedure?
We gotta go. Yeah.
Well,
But
okay, I'll figure it out.
Roxanne, I'm gonna, we have to finish up and we have to stop. We're going past into
Okay,
leadership.
so I'll send you an email, but can you provide me in written notes, what is the procedure? All I want to know is the procedure. That's all.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so, we need to, do we need to make a motion?
Well, just make sure there's nobody else that wanted to speak.
Is there anybody else that wants to speak?
No? Okay.
Okay, and I'm just reminding everybody to comply with the open meetings law. If you're going to speak, you have to have your video on. Actually, if you're in this meeting, we were told that anybody who attends a meeting, that the videos have to be turned on. This is part of open meeting law. This is not from Community Board 11. This is open meeting law.
OML is actually if you are part of the committee and you're online. You have
That's
to-
not what,
We have the email.
well, I asked these specific questions when we're at the thing.
Yeah,
and-
you sent them an email. That's what they said. You have to be part of the committee and voting. They're not voting. They're just.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's more so we could see who is
Yes.
actually paying attention on the committee.
I didn't ask why, I just asked a question and that's what I was told.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm just reminding everybody that we have to comply.
Is that,
Okay, so I think,
you want you want to ask this for the email or?
We can get it.
Just you have it? I mean, just.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
It's happening.
Can you at least send?
I'll send it to you.
So we did have the one motion that you said you were going to,
for the full board,
yeah, so you want to table this for the full board to vote on it?
Yes.
Or did you want to vote on it now?
well, you know what? I don't think has everybody read it? Does everybody feel that reading that, at least for the executive board, for this particular, the reason for the email, the letter, is to really get extra time.
I think I brought it up only because I thought that's what you were gonna do, but if you, in my opinion, we could wait till the full board, so
We could wait
everybody
till the
has a
full
chance to
board.
do it.
Yeah.
And then we could just make one,
Technically, you need 24 hours.
yeah, one vote to be able to do it.
That's
So,
fine, that's fine. I just want to make everybody aware that this is important.
Okay,
Okay, so, I think we have enough old business and enough new business. So everybody, please keep these printouts and please make it a point of reading. Write down your questions, et cetera, and, we will have, this, at least the ones that are not time sensitive, okay, for the next executive board meeting.
okay,
So-
so I make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Set, all in favor?
I.
Okay,